We rolling. So, we sit down here. Well, first of all, Brad, I want to take a moment to welcome you to Over a Drink, man. Thank you for giving me a couple minutes of your time. What time is this? It's nighttime now.
Right, out of the gate. I think what you're doing here is awesome. Not just, because we're sitting here together, but the other photographers that you're interviewing, and what you're doing to bring to light the people that I think, are the most important piece, the most important equipment of TV news. You got a guy like yourself who knows the city, who knows the players, who knows the politics, who knows the sections, who knows how it's broken up, who knows how to get places. Then when you get there, you're the director of photography, you're the lighting director, a lot of times you're interviewing people.
You hold a special place with me as well, man, obviously because you hired me. And I've been here for 20 years, man, been in the city for 20 years, so you brought me to the city, so for that, thank you.
I knew where you came from, and when you came from the Harrisburg market, I knew you were a disciplined shooter. What else I liked is that I knew you were excited about it.
You can look at Cash like, yeah, man, I put him on, I put him on, I put him on, I put him on, man. What kind of feeling is that, man? Like, how do you reflect on that, man?
It's cool, it's comforting, but it as you get older, you slow down.
Yeah.
But you also have shortcuts in your back pocket because you did talk to him. You know her.
You might have to slide back. I think your head getting cut off, man. You're in there now. It's hard to tell because you're right. Your hair blends
My
into
hair just blows out.
Into the friggin' wall, so I don't know if it's cut off or if I'm looking at the wall.
Or I could just how's that? I came from a real small town outside of Philadelphia called Souderton, and we had a weekly newspaper. And I was into writing. I got into writing. I spent a lot of my time during the week at this local newspaper hanging out with these professional local yokel reporters, right?
Uh-huh.
I cut my teeth learning about how to do stories, how to lay out pages, and I took that with me when I went to college, and I got into radio. I was a media. I just loved the media. And then one day somebody was in my class and said, hey, Brad, they're hiring at the local TV station in Lancaster, they're hiring studio camera people. And I go, I'll go out there. I took a bus out there, right? And I spoke to a human resource person, and she said, yeah, we have it. The shift is from 4 to 11. I go, I can't do that. I'm not coming out here. She goes, well, we do have internships. I said, okay, what was it? So it was a PM magazine, like Evening Magazine was here. That's how I got my story bug. And then 2 years later, they offered me a full-time job. I used to have this magazine broadcasting, and I was looking in the back. There was this little ad in the back of the magazine that said, send your resume, startup news operation. I sent a 3/4-inch tape. They put like business people. They said, oh, Brad won this award, blah, blah, blah. Local paper up there in Lancaster. Yeah. I cut that out, right? Listen to this. I cut that out. I put the winning entries on a tape. I took a piece of the letterhead and ripped it in half so you could saw WGAL TV, and I wrote in red crayon, here's my tape, check it out. Let me know what you think. And I sent it in. I said, oh my God, I'm going to Philadelphia to shoot. Brand new gear, car. Monday through Friday news, half hour at night, 10 o'clock. No weekends. So everybody was Monday through Friday. We're like bankers.
Dude, that was like the Chick-fil-A
and then we're like, oh, we're going to
television.
Yeah, we're going to start news on Saturday. Really? Whoa. I had a wooden tripod.
Wow.
Because I think the money ran out.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll get one of them big tripods.
I think they were still in the building when I got there.
It is such a community, the TV guys.
Yeah.
You'll realize that some of the best times of your life is hanging on a street corner waiting for something to happen.
On that corner.
5 hours in the rain, all complaining. We all got to say it. My battery running out. What's happening? Oh, the lights, man. We're losing light. What's going on here?
How many years in the game you got at this point?
38.
Some of the stories you've covered, man, that stood out in your career.
Right out of jump. Obviously 9/11 was just, to this day, changed my life covering that story. By the time the second plane hit, I was in King of Prussia, and I just got on the turnpike and went. We went up there, and because of the type of car that I had it looked like a federal cop car.
You were driving that Intrepid or something
No, it was a Crown Vic.
Oh, the Crown Vic, that's right.
It had 4 antennas on it, 3 scanners, and once they closed the turnpike, and I'm getting ready to go on the Skyway up there in New York, you could see all the police, the volunteer firemen and police officers were holding their badges out the window. because they shut down the turnpike and they were letting those guys go by. So I got on the Skyway. I was the only car on the Skyway and went into Liberty Park. And and we were up there for some weeks.
Yeah.
And that was tough.
But actually, that was my day off that Tuesday. And what's funny was, you know, I had went through the nonsense with the camera, with the station. So up until that point, my feeling was, man, this station can't actually do nothing extra.
Right.
You know, and then when that happened and they called the house, my wife was like, you going in? She says, you never going when they call you.
Yeah.
I said, baby, 2 planes just flew into the building.
Yeah. What do you?
I gotta go.
Do you remember people showing you pictures of their loved ones?
Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of times. Hey, can you take this?
Yep.
Because I haven't seen my sister or my brother or my father, and it's hard. It's hard to think about that and how horrible that day was. If you're in this business long enough, you're going to cover the Super Bowls, the World Series, and people think, oh, that's great, but you know as well as I do. That's a lot of work. You're not a fan there, man.
No.
You're working 16 hours, and you're eating. You're trying to find food at midnight,
and you running,
and you're running, and you're up the next day. You're up at 5 o'clock because the morning show wants something.
Yep.
So yeah, you do that, and you do the political conventions. But the neat things is the stories that you do on the guy that sells newspaper for 40 years on Broad Street, right? That's the stuff that you like to do, right?
For sure.
You do the stories on heck, I don't know, a small little root beer stand in New Jersey that everybody hangs out at, right? And you get a little slice of life story. And all you're trying to do with the camera is trying to make, you know, the ordinary a little more special.
You see things through that lens, and you see things from a different angle, I think, than the average Joe sees them. You know what I mean? Like every time I'm driving along or walking along or moving along, everything I see a potential story.
If you're a photographer like you are, that's innate. It's in you. And you're going to say, I'll tell you, I've come up with some of my favorite stories because of how I seen the light at a certain time of day, or I see a guy, I say, I've seen that guy over there like 3 times this week. He's like selling peanuts, and he's got this real old machine. And, you know, look at him. He's in this really bad part of the city. He's out there having a good time, and he's talking up a storm.
Yeah.
Let's stick a mic on it.
See what happens.
That kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, I like that. And people go, wow, you know?
Yeah.
I never knew that guy was there. One of the things that you have to be is curious.
Yeah.
You know, why is that guy dancing on Spring Garden Street every day? He's out there. Who's he dancing for? Right?
I'm a voyeur. And I don't know if the job made me a voyeur.
Great point. Because you know what? I think we as human beings are all voyeurs.
Yeah.
And somebody told me one time, you know, people love to watch other people. So your stories have got to be people-oriented. They have to have a character in them. I don't want to do a story about the person that's on the stage. Give me the guys that built the stage.
I'm the same.
Let me do the story on the guys that do the laundry for the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it was my wife or a friend, but they had got me tickets to something. And it was way up close. And I was like, I don't like this spot. And they was like, wow, we right in the front of the stage. I said, because I can't see everything else.
That's the curse, man. That's the TV cameraman / photographer's curse. When you go to a concert, you're just like, you're arriving on a scene, right? And what do you do when you arrive on a scene? You park and then you look.
Correct.
And it's like the human eye. Okay, look at all this wide stuff. You look at wide, and then you start, boom, you start signaling stuff out. Closer, closer, right? It is. It's tough, man. When you go to like events like that, and everybody else is just enjoying it, you're like, and you're looking at people for reactions. You're like, hey, what's going on?
And they like, why are you looking at me?
That's what I do. Is there any other job in the world where you can be out there with all your office stuff, all your equipment, where somebody can come up to you and ask you, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just roll up on you. Yeah. Don't say hello, hi, my name is Rob or whatever.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you here?
Twice today.
You ever snap?
I've never snapped. I've reacted in the same tone that they've given me a few times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody has come to me with very aggressive energy,
right,
I respond.
Right.
I don't start off that way. But if they can't bring it down, then I bring it up.
Right.
My goal is to to defuse every time I'm out.
Now, do you think that you owe them an exact answer,
No.
true answer? I
No.
mean, because like, I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes I've told people, "Oh, I'm out here like Madonna's in there. Boys to Men are coming out." They be out about a half hour, right?
I don't go that far. You worked the I team. You worked sports. You worked you across the board.
Right.
All the specialty teams.
Right.
You've been on.
Right.
Was there one that stands out more than the other for you?
Well, I tell you what. After 9/11, and you remember the Washington freeway shooter, right?
Yeah.
In 2002. After that, I was like, and I'll tell you what. I
covered that?
Yeah. We all be like, hey, you know.
I know we did stories on it. I didn't know you went down to D.C.
No, on the corridor there, because people were thinking, oh,
Correct.
is the car here? And remember Versace? Covered that, went to Florida, did all that. And I'm like, at that point in my life, I'm like, man, I said, I got to step back here because there was something happening all the time. And we were like in the middle of it. And it was at that time that the sports network here in Philly, Comcast Sportsnet, came to me and offered me a job. They gave me a camera and a laptop editor and said, just go make stories. And I enjoyed that. I did, some documentaries on the Spectrum when they closed the Spectrum and knocked it down. And I did a lot of preview shows. I had a magazine show that I did. Once they started to change direction at that network, I realized that, I wanted to do more of what I was doing. So I kind of left there, and I was lucky enough to get another job here in the city. And like I said, they give you a camera, they give you a car, and a license just to shoot, right, and just create. You've been here 20 years.
20 years I've been in Philly, yeah.
You're getting old, dude.
Yeah, man. We all get old eventually, man.
I would not be still in this job if I didn't like it.
Correct.
I love it. I mean, I'm all about the image. I always gravitated toward the still photographers, and the Inquirer and the Daily News had some of the baddest photographers in the country. I mean, they were award best.
Yeah.
And this one guy said, you know what, Brad is a still photographer. His pictures just move.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? And that stuck with me.
Dude, that's a nice title to have, man. That's a nice description.
And I felt floored when he said that to me. I still enjoy the challenge every day of trying to make, the ordinary a little more special.
Correct.
I love it.
Well, Brad, man.
How you doing?
I'm about at the end of this one, man. I might have another 2 sips in here.
Uh-huh.
You want to talk about Marlino? That was your man. You want to talk about chasing the mob? I mean, this is Philly. You might as well give him a mob story.
Hey, listen, that whole era was exciting. Where Dave Stratweiser and I did those stories and had that kind of edge.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the time where I had the indictment, and you want to go interview the guy that's getting indicted, right?
Obviously.
I called him up on the phone. I said, listen, Joe, I said, there's a line in this indictment that says that there's a hit out on you for $500,000. And, Joe, he goes, hey, give me the $500,000, I'll shoot myself. I said, I got to get you to say that on television, man. He goes, okay, meet me down at 10th and Adam. So I took Strat down there, Strat thought I'd take that boom. He goes, yeah, give me $5,000. It was a classic line.
That's classic.
But that's like, classic. You talk to that guy as well as you talk to the janitor, the fireman, the city council president, and you just say, hey, I got this camera. What do you want to say? The first thing you need is video.
Yeah.
And the last thing, that's it.
TV stops if you ain't got no video. Just stops if you ain't got no video. Well, Brad, my drink is done, brother.
All right.
So that's how we do it, man. We talk for one drink.
All right. I'll get your car.
And when it's gone, it's gone.
All right.
I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you, man.
Mike, anytime. I'm glad you're still here.
I'm glad I'm still here. Shit.